This clip is brought to you by BackTheOnline.com.
Yeah. Shout out to the king, man. I seen your interviews, man. I see your work. I was elated. My daughter put me on you. I was elated to hear you. You was doing your thing, man. And I just wanted to reach out to you, tell you I love what you're doing, man. And and just to highlight the people who may not have known everything about my moves when I was with No Limit, but to give them a little insight. So I appreciate it.
Oh no, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you, and especially like most members of the tank. Whether their tenure was long or whether they had a short stint, we appreciate what they brought to the tank and what they brought to even just us as fans and stuff. So to kind of start off with things, then I guess where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They call us the bottom of the map. That's where it's going down there. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in Baton Rouge, and then I moved out here to Texas. So I've been out here for about the last 20 years, So initially, I wasn't even into rapping at first. Like, I was into that ball, you know what I'm saying? I was like hooping. And doing a lot of crazy shit, man, making bad decisions when I was young. I went to jail for armed robbery when I was 16. And they gave me, I got 12 years for that armed robbery case. I did 6 on my first bid. I went in 89. I come home in 95. And that's my first joke. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I got it now. I just try to figure out a different way how to do wrong. So I ended up getting back in the streets, and I stayed out about 2 years. And I got caught up at a police stop. They were stopping people for insurance and all that. Had a couple of my partners in the car. I had a little pistol in the car. So when they pulled me over, they asked to check the car, and I'm like, check the car for what? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, they ended up checking the car and found the pistol. So I go back to jail for a pistol case. I do 2.5 years, and then I come home. Well, when I come home that time, one of my partners named Terry Rito, he used to, he had a sporting agency. And Rito used to work for Pete. But Rito was my partner before he used to work for Pete. And we used to be going back and forth to Chicago. So anyway, he seen one of my relatives, and he was asking about him, and it was like, yeah, Black just come home. And he was like, yeah, give him my number. Hey, man, I need to holler at him. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I ended up calling. He come through the apartment where I was living at. He pull up in the big Benz. So I'm like, damn, Rito, that's how you doing it? So he's like, yeah, I'm working for Percy. I say, Percy? He was like, Pete. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, man, say it. You fucking with the rap? I said, a little bit, man, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, look, I want to introduce you to dude trying to get you on, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. So I wasn't really, to be honest with you, I wasn't really a No Limit fan. I was more into Cash Money, you know what I'm saying? But I respect the Pete grind, how he was doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, long story short, Rito took me by his office. It was in Sherwood Forest in Baton Rouge, where I'm from, right? So he took me to meet Pete. So we at the office. I'm sitting up there, in my mind. I'm like, damn, I'm finna meet Pete, man. This nigga's finna go down, you know what I'm saying? So Pete, Steve Murder, and a couple other cats, they come through the door. But P and C Murder, they kind of going back and forth. They kind of arguing about some stuff. Pete telling C, like, man, you can't keep going down there to the projects when them niggas calling you on that dumb shit. We running the record label and this, that, da. So they go in there, they arguing for a little while. So anyway, P ended up coming out. When he come out, Rito was like, say, P, it's my people. X-conn, who I was telling you about, was like, blah, blah, blah. So he was like, yeah, Rito told me you get out. And he was like, well, let me hear something. So I started doing some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody who know me from back then, well, my first name was GYG, which was Gus Young Gangster. That's the street I grew up on in the park in Baton Rouge, right? So in the penitentiary, everybody knew me by GYG. And whenever I used to rap, I used to be, you know what I'm saying, and beating on my chest like the ship. So everybody rolling. So when I got to doing that, I did the little rap. Before I can get through with the first verse, he was like, that's good. Say it. Bring him by the house, right? So boom, we leave. My dude, Rito, he like, say, man, he must fuck with you, but he say, bring me by the house. He don't really just say that to everybody. So I'm like, that's what's happening. So, P had bought a house in Baton Rouge, and Well, they all had a house, like C, P had one out there. But anyway, like that, probably about a week later, Rito come scoop me. We go there. It's at the country club in Baton Rouge, right? So we get to the gate. They let us in. We pull up. I see this big ass house. They got about 30 cars. Everybody everywhere. Like the whole No Limit family. Everybody there, right? They working on the 504 bar CD right now. They was just working on it. So I go in. I get in the elevator, go upstairs, peeing them upstairs. They listening to some tracks. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm meeting everybody, you know. Anyway, long story short, Rito, he got P attention. He was like, say, I got Con here. So he like, shit, come in, man. So he playing the track. And it happened to be the track, Watch Them Boys with me, P, and Mac on there, right? So I'm listening to it. So he say, hey, you can do something with that? I said, shit, hell yeah. So he say, go to the booth. Boom. I go get in the booth, put the headphones on, right? And then come on, watch them boys. I'm here, I'm listening to the hook. You don't know them boys, you better. So I got to eating that bitch up. So when I come out, niggas say, okay, all right, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, but that's the introduction to Pete, how I met him. You know what I'm saying?
GF said eat free, just know the rules. If money go out and come back, then it's cool. The only man I let call me a fool, besides Prince, Kyrie, Adam Bomb, or C-Rule. We in the UK with it, got with Fonzie Neutron, and he with it, so let's get it.
Out in New Orleans when I was a young kid, and that was my first experience. That's when I knew I loved hip hop. You know, when Dougie was on there. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's where I knew I love hip hop. And my favorite rapper, people will never believe it. Scarface is my favorite rapper.
It's cracking. I'm out here in the UK. I'm straight out of Compton tour, man. Much love. And you know you rocking with, man. It's Lil Easy E, and we about that online. So we finna get it cracking, man.
Peace, family. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check us out on aboutthatonline.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for exclusive playlists and social media for all different types of segments and content.